Hey everyone, welcome to Something Bigger, a Nerdcast. Obviously, this is a podcast and it's our first episode. We'll be covering mostly the CW's Beauty and the Beast because that's what's on TV right now. But later on, we plan on covering shows like Supernatural, Arrow, The Originals, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Sleepy Hollow, because Tom isn't, he's beautiful. Anyway, and well, that's a great show, but, and a few others in addition to BATB. So, there are two of us actually here. You probably heard her laugh. So we're just going to go ahead and do introductions. Along with our introductions, we're going to say our name, and we are going to do our favorite character from Beauty and the Beast, since that is the TV show that we will be covering. I can't talk today, guys. But anyway, so I'm Emily, and my favorite character is JT, because he's awesome, and he's nerdy, and he's the comic relief, and I absolutely adore the comic relief characters because they're hilarious. And that goes in part to both the writers, how they write the characters' lines, and the wonderful actors that they get to portray those characters, like JT, who's played obviously by Austin Basis, who is awesome, and the King Beastie. Anyway.
And the other one here, the one who laughed, my name is Kimberly. I am known as WriterFreak001 on Tumblr, Twitter, fanfiction, and pretty much any other website I can think of. Oh, Instagram. And I have two favorite characters. Obviously, number one is JT, because, like Emily said, he's JT. He's awesome. He's great. Has great lines. Has good comic relief, and he's just a very good friend to Vincent. And which brings my next favorite character is obviously Vincent, because who doesn't love him? And he's beautiful. So in the soul, the mind, the body, and everything glorious that's about him. Oh. And I just want to thank Jay Riot's parents if they're listening to this, because he wouldn't be here without you guys. And I'm going to give you a round of applause. Applaud, or whatever. Alright. And so, we're actually going to move on to some BATB news. Listed on Spoiler TV. The weekly ratings for Beast is the New Black was substantially higher than it has been in, ever. In BATB history, probably, of season 2, mm-hmm. where in the past it was about an average of 0.3, which was about 30,000 viewers per week, and when the return came, it was over 1 million, 1.36. So we just want to thank all the Beasties who tuned in this past week, and we hope for the same results during the next episode called Cat and Mouse. All right. Oh, and one more thing. Season 2 of BATB can be pre-ordered on Amazon, the DVD. So get your wallets out, your checkbooks if you like checkbooks, or get your credit cards and make the transaction because it's worth it.
Yes, very much.
Now, the recap of the ending of 216 about last night. So what we remember from that episode is, one, Sam. He was arrested finally after 4 or 5 episodes of just being a butthead.
Yeah. It's about damn time too.
Yeah. He was arrested. He almost committed suicide. Vincent, his saving grace, saved him and told him, "You're not worth it to die," or whatever, and said that there's other ways to feel better about yourself or whatever. And so Sam's in custody. He's agreed to help without mentioning beasts. I don't know if we're ever going to hear from him again. but Gabe has been rejected by Catherine.
Asshole.
Which is a good thing because that led Catherine and Vincent back together.
Yay!
For a very beautiful reunion.
Yay.
The kiss on the roof. The kiss with the rose on the roof. Not with they didn't kiss with the rose on their lips or anything, but they were holding the rose. You get the idea. And then you know, the morning after the beautiful night that we did not see. And
did they do something or did they not? I think
the world may never know. And then we come up to a little bit of a pickle. Guess what? Vincent was arrested for the murder of Kurt Windsor, and that kind of left off the end of 216, and we didn't really get to know what happened until Beast is the New Black, which aired last Monday. So, now we are going to go to the episode review and the discussion of 217 Beast is the New Black.
Awesome. So, basically the episode started, it picked right up where the last episode left off. You know, Vincent getting arrested, and all of us viewers sitting there thinking, okay, now who would have had motive to arrest him, and how it had to be it had to, you know, it had us thinking during the little break, you know, who knew that it was who knew that it was Vincent that killed Windsor, who even, you know, knew that Windsor was dead. And so yeah, and then so Vincent was taken out in handcuffs, and the whole focus of the episode was to spring Vincent from prison. So
yeah.
I want to know is because they found, obviously Windsor's heart was planted in Vincent's houseboat in his fridge. So I want to know how they got a hold of it, because they dispose of the body?
Well, from the video that apparently Gabe found in all of this evidence stuff, it showed that Vincent had disposed of the body, dragged it in this alley, probably dumped it in a dumpster.
Yeah. Which was stupid.
I'm guessing, you know, at that time, Vincent had a handler, which was, you know, what's his face? Daddy Evil. Reynolds. And so I'm guessing, you know, Vincent had to report to Reynolds about pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. So Vincent probably told Reynolds where he dumped the body.
Yeah.
And, you know, Reynolds being the conniving biatch that he is, he probably either hired someone or went himself and retrieved the heart for collateral or for whatever reason, you know, because of who he is. So
yeah,
that's how I think they got the heart.
Yeah,
it would make sense, even if they didn't explain it. That would make sense.
Yeah, and I mean, if maybe Gabe could have tipped him off, or someone could have tipped him off. Someone, probably Gabe or Reynolds, could have tipped off the cops. So they both have motive.
Yes. And I don't know if Reynolds would have been able to tip off the cops, because even if he did, I mean, he's in jail. There's not much there. His word would be taken. I mean, he could have. His hired person could have tipped off the cops.
If the case with Reynolds is still slightly open, they could have gone to him for more information, and he could have tipped him off there.
It's possible.
So
I'm guessing it's that whatever that bigger force is that we don't know. I'm guessing one of their goonies probably tipped off the cops, or maybe one of the cops is in league with them.
It's quite possible. We've seen that before.
Yeah.
So in different shows.
Yeah.
So.
And so during this episode, we had Catherine, who lost her badge. and not in the sense of
losing her job,
being suspended and giving her badge. She literally lost her badge.
It went missing. It disappeared. It decided to have a vacation in the snow.
At the wrong time, of course. And so she goes to the precinct that Vincent is being taken into, and she's like, "Hey, I need to get in." And they're like, "Badge? Nope, no badge." So that kind of leads into a whole series of Kat breaking a lot of rules
that she
in order
could
to get
lose
back
her job
there.
for. That she could literally,
yeah. So, yeah, so we have that. Catherine gone bad.
Yeah.
Bad kitty.
But it was all within reason. She was protecting Vincent
true.
Because, she had to get in there, because if they would have taken DNA samples from him, to cross-check it with, heart or whatever other evidence they have, then,
and also background check, too.
Yeah. So. Yeah, the whole, I'm a lab experiment for this thing called Muirfield that would be completely exposed, and
then they would find him a bigger threat.
Yeah.
Lock him up for probably the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And that just wouldn't be good for our dear Vincent, because he's one of the stars of the show, and there's not really a show if the main character is locked up for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
So, Catherine being the smart one, she breaks some rules, she gets in there, she tells JT what's going on, and JT flips out, blames Gabe, obviously, and, Tess is... We find JT and Tess kind of, in the bed, or no, couch bed, sorry, it was a couch bed, which I find it's so JT, having not a real bed, but a couch bed, but anyway, and they kind of get in this little argument about their non-relationship, quote.
It's a relationship, alright. I ship it. I'm convinced.
It was just one big misunderstanding.
Yes.
Misunderstanding, because, Tess was just like, "No, I don't want Kat to know, because, she doesn't want to rub her non-relationship into Kat's face."
Yeah.
Well, JT, he takes things a little out of proportion, just a little bit, and he's like, thinking, "Oh yeah, it's just one night. No one needs to know, whatever." And, that kind of hurt Tess.
Yeah.
And I definitely ship their relationship.
Yes.
They I can't talk today either. They can't. They convinced me. The writers have convinced me. The chemistry of Nina Lisandro, between Nina and Austin Basis, has definitely convinced me.
Yes.
Now the question is, does their relationship, non-relationship, whatever, I'm guessing they've now established it as a relationship by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But what I'm wondering is if it's actually going to survive through the hardships that Vincent and Catherine have to go through.
I hope it does, but for some reason, I don't think it will. Like, there's two ways they can take it if it's not going to last. There's the let it go the rest of the season, and then pick it up in the season 3 premiere, and have them talk about them not being together, or acting awkward around each other because they broke up during the break, or they could have it go on for another couple episodes and then something big happen to one of them in the season finale.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because, if you think about it, JT and Tess they just met not too long ago, a year or so ago, and they started this whole romance thing, non-relationship around the Valentine's Day within the season, and so, off and on, they've been off and on, so, the thing is, JT has been best friends with Vincent for 10 plus years, and you have Tess, who's been best friends with Kat for 6, maybe 7 years, and maybe a little bit less than that. But I mean, they've had these relationships a lot longer than they've had each other. So when push comes to shove, the question is, are they going to side with each other, or are they going to side with their best friends if something happens at the end?
Yeah.
I don't know what might happen. I mean, I hope that whatever they have going on is strong enough that they can figure something out that, you know, appeases all parties.
Yeah.
But then again, we don't know what's going to happen in these next 5 episodes.
No, it's a coin toss-up of what could happen. Like, we can only imagine what could happen, but then the writers could turn around and just
nope.
surprise us. Like they like to do.
Expect the unexpected. And then with the whole gem.
Yes.
That was really interesting. How for one, how Kat had to find out where the gem was.
I think that was a clever hiding spot, personally. For the gem, you know, because no one else would look there.
It was close to home too, and it's not like they had to exhume any bodies to find it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was really clever, and I was kind of I died a little inside when I saw the go bag. I mean, yes, that was smart to put that there too, but I'm just like, no, he can't go. He can't go. And then, so with the whole gem, it obviously has some mystical power to essentially, in Vincent's words, put a Band-Aid on his beast and kind of hide it from the world. It doesn't erase it completely. It just kind of does something where it neutralizes it.
Yeah, it stuns it.
Yes.
So to say, sort of like Lupin's Wolfsbane potion in Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yes.
So
that the question is, basically, how does that gem come about? And I'm sure we'll find out in the next 5 episodes, because the gem seems to be holding an importance in the series.
So there's something with that gem.
Definitely not like, I wouldn't say it's like a kryptonite thing with Clark from Smallville, because one, it just debeasts Vincent. Vincent doesn't like cringe in pain when he's near it or anything. So it's not a weakness per se, but and then again, it is because it does strip away his beastness. The question is why, and I have a feeling that it has to do with Catherine. I don't know. I have a feeling it has to do with Catherine's lineage, whether it is with her bloodstream or bloodline or whatever, or if it something with the beast species that existed thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was made at that time. I think they had something about Mayans.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of questions about this gem, and obviously, we two fans do not have all the answers. So,
only theories over here.
Yes, only theories. So, but I hope we find out, and I'm sure we will, because I know there's an episode in the future for the next 5 where we see Rebecca Reynolds with Kristen Crook. I believe she's going to be playing Rebecca Reynolds. And I think Vincent, or Jay Ryan, he's going to be playing a past beast. I don't know if it's maybe an ancestor of Vincent. That
would be really interesting if it was.
I was thinking, my theory is Vincent, in a way, is all the, everyone who's predisposed is somehow descendants of this Beast Clan, I guess you could say. And maybe with the serum, that kind of awakened maybe the predisposed beastness inside of them.
Yeah.
Or something. And my theory is maybe Vincent might be more of a direct descendant. And, with the whole, whatever he did with Reynolds during those 3 months, that changed his beast. Now, I don't know if they experimented on him, or if maybe that was a change that just happened in his body, and
because he's evolving or whatever.
Yeah, evolving. But
Gosh,
if it was more of an evolving rather than tampering with his DNA even more, it's possible that with all that training, with all that evolving, maybe what the beast looks like more to that beast clan. Maybe that's what they were going for when Murfield was trying to tamper with it all.
Yeah.
So I just feel like Vincent is more of a direct descendant, more so than anybody else, like Gabe was or whatever.
Yeah.
Because when you saw Gabe's beast, it was kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, these are all just theories. Don't quote us on me. Well, we own the rights to those theories.
Yeah.
But,
they're just
anyway. And then we have the whole Tess and Cat.
Yeah.
Gal pal talk.
I really like that. Yeah, I really like that scene.
We've missed that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we haven't seen that in a long time because, Kat's been so busy with Vincent trying to get him back, and trying to protect him, and then going from the rocky relationship with him to the weird, strange fallback relationship with Gabe. That Tess and Kat haven't really had the chance to have a decent girl talk, or like a best friends moment. So it was really nice to see that. Again.
And it's definitely showing Tess more as a character rather than just wallpaper.
Oh yeah.
In the series, because lately she's just kind of stood in the background and either went with what Gabe wanted, or she didn't really have her own opinions about something. And if she did, they were very subtle. They weren't expanded upon or anything. But I really like how she's all of a sudden opening up to Kat, saying, "Hey, the reason I didn't tell you was this and that and everything," and that it proves that she has feelings too. That she's struggling with Kat's relationship with Vincent, because she feels like it's kind of holding her back from her own romance and everything. And I really like how she definitely expanded on that, and Nina really sold that moment.
She did. She does a fantastic job as Tess. I can't imagine anyone else playing Tess, but I really like the relationship that she and Kristen Crook portray on screen as Tess and Kat. It's you could definitely tell they're friends off screen because it shows. It really shows.
Yes. And I definitely think this next episode, Cat and Mouse, which plays actually tonight, but I definitely think this episode is going to be a lot about Tess. I don't know why, but I think she's going to be kind of playing double sides here with Gabe, because her job's on the line, and I hope she pulls through with whether she agrees to inwardly do this double-sided thing where a double cross kind of thing, but or maybe she literally decides to go on Gabe's part because she doesn't want to lose her job. Yeah. And she cares about Kat. So in Gabe's twisted way, he does too. So she knows that Kat won't be caught in the crossfire during the hunt for Vincent. Yeah. So it's possible that she might side with Gabe for part of the episode and then realize what a stupid mistake she's making. Yeah, and then try to right her mistake. Yeah. That's an interesting theory. My idea. Yeah. And Canadian beasties already know what's going on. So if we are completely off chart, don't correct us. We like our theories.
don't yeah. We'll find out when we watch the episode tonight.
Or tomorrow.
Yeah, because of busy schedules. But anyway. and then we have Gabe.
There's a lot we could say about Gabe, and there's a lot we don't want to say about Gabe because Gabe is, well, everybody hates him. But
that sounds like a comedy show. Everybody hates Gabe.
It's like everybody loves Raymond.
Yeah.
Everybody hates Gabe.
Everybody hates Gabe.
Hey, it's a spin-off. And, well, with Gabe, like Emily said, everybody hates him. But he definitely is crucial to the show, whether he's getting a lot of screen time or not a lot of screen time. It just shows how Gabe's mysterious evil plan, if he has one, is unfolding, and it's important not just to show the protagonist's side, but also the antagonist, because you got to know what's going on with the antagonist.
Yeah.
I mean, or else there wouldn't be much of a show. It'd just be like a happy couple in hiding because of whatever reason, and then if Gabe was not there, like we just took our fingers and picked up Gabe and threw him out, to
his own TV show.
Into Everybody Hates Gabe. Then there's like no threat, so we need to have Gabe, and definitely he's going to probably reveal some things about himself and maybe about other evil stuff. I don't know. But he's definitely crucial, whether you like him or dislike him or want him off the show or want him to die, whatever. I mean, the show gives us a show. The writers give us a show, and we can respond to it however we want to. But it's important to know that Gabe is a big factor in the show.
And he's
especially with the whole redemption thing.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. In the sense that, you really don't trust him in the first season, at the end of the first season, because he's definitely, he's completely up to something, and then all of a sudden,
he tries to kill Vincent. I mean, come on.
So, there, you definitely see that he's got that villain side to him, but then you see at the beginning of this season, how he's all look like Kimberly said, looking for redemption, because from what he was, he's seeing being human now sort of as a penance for the things that he did as a beast, I think, and I think he's having trouble letting go, that he's still thinking like a beast. Essentially.
But, I mean, unlike Vincent, Gabe has been a beast since he was a little kid. I mean, that's all he ever really knew was how to live like a beast, and he was locked in this, I don't know if it was a tower or, it wasn't really a dungeon, it was more like a room, like a really
bunker,
dark,
maybe?
musky room. Sorry?
Like a bunker, maybe? Like an underground bunker?
And I mean, he was trapped there. He was locked inside. His food was pretty much given to him through like a little drop box. I mean, he never got the traditional happy family life that Vincent had as a human.
That's enough to screw someone up, psychologically.
Yes.
Well, psychologically and sociologically.
Yeah, he's trying to live as a human, and when he had those, that medicine, that kind of helped him adjust to being a human, but the more and more the medicine didn't work, the more and more he was more beast than man when it came to decisions and stuff. Yeah. And he was looking for a way to survive. And at the time, he was willing to kill Vincent in order to live. And
that takes
which, is something that's pretty twisted. Yeah. Even after he says that he would take his own life before killing others. Yeah. And then he turns around and says, "Oh no, I'll just kill Vincent." That's kind of a twisted mindset. Yeah. And
it's messed
with
up.
The whole season 2 of redemption, and then we see with Kat. He sees Kat as a saving grace. Like Kat saved his life, and so he's gonna kind of cling on to her.
Yeah, I think he sees Kat how Vincent sees Kat, only Gabe's vision of Kat is something a little... I think he feels like he knows he can't have her, but he wants her anyway because he sees what she does to Vincent, and so he feels like she would do the same to him. Mm-hmm. But obviously that's not at all the case.
Because even after, it's Catherine. She, even after Vincent almost killed her father, she slowly, she started accepting Vincent again, and relying on him and everything. And with Gabe, she was kind of pissed at him at first for trying to kill her boyfriend, but the more he tried to redeem himself, the more she trusted him. And so unfortunately, Kat is not one to really hold a grudge for too long.
Yeah.
So it's her character. And with Gabe, when he lost Catherine, or when he could see he was losing Catherine to Vincent again, or not again, because anyway, I'm guessing it just kind of made him feel like who he was before meeting Catherine, or as that beast, you know, he was abandoned again.
Yeah.
And so he's a victim in a way, and he's twisted and mentally unstable kind of victim.
Yeah, because like you said, he was he was
psychologically describe him right now.
He was psychologically screwed up as a child. So
yes, and so that's gonna impact his future, obviously, and so that's why I think he's definitely crucial, and why he's so messed up and stupid. But then on the top of Gabe, there's Reynolds.
Who we hate even more because he's words that I can't even say on here because they're bad words. Worse than I've said. But
also in the same way with Gabe, I guess you could say every villain is their own victim. Because there's always something that psychologically screws with them.
Yes.
And with Reynolds, maybe not so much psychological, but the love of his life, Vanessa, spent a lot of her lifetime on creating beasts or whatever, and then she gets killed for it. And so that will probably spiral him off to clean up after Murfield and destroy all Murfield merchandise, pretty much.
Yeah. How do we know, though, that it wasn't him that ordered the hit?
Ordered which hit? On Vanessa?
Yeah.
I don't think it was him. I mean, he has proven that he does care for Catherine, and that he did care for her mother. And, so, in his twisted way, like Gabe, he does care for Catherine, and he's just trying to protect her. But, someone pulled his chain the wrong way.
Yeah.
And so, it's just...
You think
misguided, like Gabe.
You think he could be, under the influence of this big bad wolf company, or agency or whatever, is, sort of holding something over Reynolds' shoulder, to make him do what they want him to do, maybe?
It's possible, but, I feel like Reynolds is not really in league with them, because, when the second he heard about his contact being killed, he knew right away that these were people you don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
And, it's possible that, they might have something over him, and that's why he wants Catherine out of the whole ordeal, because he knows what they're capable of, and that's a possibility. Or he just knows who they are, and they're not something to be reckoned with, or they are a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And so, it's possible that they do have something over him, but I don't think he's in league with them on his own. Because just the way he responded when he heard all of that going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, it's possible. I don't think we might not know. I mean, they might not really expand on that, or they might. Maybe he was in league with them at one time. Maybe he did work with them, and then when he found out that Vanessa was killed, maybe he realized what kind of big deep doo-doo he was in, and decided to take matters into his own hands, leave that big bad wolf agency, and work on his own. It's possible that, yeah, he probably was, because he seems to know a great deal about them. Whether he has disclosed it with Catherine, he probably doesn't want to tell her the whole shebang of what they're capable of. Because he just wants her to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, I think he knows that she'd probably go after them because they're after Vincent.
She tried going after Murfield on her own too.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't blame Reynolds for not telling her the extent of what these people can do. Because
I would not be surprised if. I mean, maybe they killed that contact for other reasons. We don't know if it's connected.
Yeah. Which most likely it is.
They could be looking for Reynolds.
Yeah.
For all we know. And maybe they got that information and they're after him now.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're after Reynolds to get more information on Vincent.
That could be.
So I mean, yeah, it could be all tied together.
Yeah.
But maybe Vincent is not their next target. Maybe Catherine was. But then, Catherine doesn't break.
Yeah.
And,
she's a sort of...
Because they're going to ask her questions, obviously, I'm pretty sure.
She's a I'll die before I tell you type of person.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to being interrogated.
Well, or maybe they've already gotten to Reynolds and we just didn't see that.
Yeah,
maybe they've gotten to him...
Through prison.
Reynolds...
or
maybe Reynolds made a deal with them, saying that that he will tell them where Catherine is if they promise not to hurt her.
Yeah.
Or kill her.
Yeah.
To get information out.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's another possibility, but we just don't know. With Reynolds, he's kind of in a gray area. Like, he has twisted ways of doing stuff, but he does have semi-good intentions involving Catherine.
Yeah. So, do we think that he's the suspect, the main suspect in who framed Vincent, or who
initially
with
the whole heart
evidence? Yeah.
Initially, I think so. I think it's possible that maybe, like you say, maybe that big bad wolf agency has something over him, and maybe contacted him and told him to, for some unknown reason, to get Vincent into some kind of custody. Because that would be easier for an agency to swoop in and kill Vincent if he was contained already.
Yeah, they could easily plant someone in the prison to kill him. They could totally set that up.
Yeah.
So.
Or Reynolds just did it on his own because he wanted to protect Catherine, and Vincent being a beast, he believed that Vincent was supposed to be behind bars. Obviously, that idea probably wasn't thought out very well, because, if Vincent was behind bars, there's a very good chance he could have exposed himself and all beast stuff, and that could have hurt Reynolds even more in terms of what he's been in league with.
Yeah.
And so I don't think Reynolds really thought that through. He just wanted to protect Catherine, obviously.
Yeah.
And so Reynolds initially was obviously I'm sure it was his idea to get Vincent behind bars. Having his contact stuff that heart in Vincent's fridge. So my question is, okay, so Vincent's handler is in custody.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's only a matter of time before they're going to find out that Vincent was his, assassin person.
Yeah.
So my question is, why is he even living in the houseboat still? Because I would have thought by now he would have moved back with JT. And yeah, I understand he wants his personal space and he wants to have a place of his own.
That's my only thought. But
that houseboat was obviously owned by the FBI because they bought it for him to live in. And so, when Reynolds was almost killed and everything, and when I'm just guessing, maybe there's only a handful of people who knew Vincent lived there.
Two, it's a boat, so I mean, you know, he can get on it and he could make a quick getaway with it in the middle of the night, like the dead of night when nobody else is at the dock. So, that could be one reason. But then again, the FBI would know that it would go missing because it's probably got like a GPS on it or something. So
yeah. And I mean, from what I've heard from Twitter, Catherine Ashton, who's the costume designer for the show, someone asked her if the houseboat, if we're going to see the houseboat again in this season, and she said she doesn't think so because, you know, now Vincent's kind of on the run. Yeah. So he can't exactly go back home because they're going to have police people waiting for him. Yeah. And that'd just be kind of stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if there's whatever's going on, it's definitely a huge conspiracy.
So right now, Vincent is playing the part of Jason Bourne from the Bourne films. So, or if you're Bourne Legacy, if you prefer Bourne Legacy and Jeremy Renner, he would be Alex Cross, I think. But anyway, with being on the run from the big bad agency.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's kind of like Jack Bauer, I think, from 24.
From 24, yeah. I really watch that show. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Bauer's not a beast, but, you know, he's a beast in his own way. He's just like, die, and they die. Yeah. He has killer moves. You know, Jack Bauer's kind of on the run himself and everything. But anyway, let's get back to BATB.
Yes.
And let's move to the rooftop scene.
Oh
my gosh.
So many feels.
That was definitely achingly romantic.
Oh my gosh. Everything with feels happens on that damn rooftop. Whether it's good stuff that we're like, yes, or it's bad stuff where we're crying our eyes out and we just, you know, leave the episode thinking about it and we just, you know, just break down.
Yeah, because, you know, aside from the fire escape, the rooftop is also Vincent and Catherine's place. Yeah. I mean, when Vincent was on the run in first season, I mean, there was only so many places they could go to have, like, a nice evening out and everything, and the roof was one of them. And plus, the roof has so many, like you said, so many memories, like their first kiss, their anniversary. I mean, the first time Vincent hit Catherine, but that memory has been wiped away from Catherine's mind because, you know, Catherine's in love with Vincent again. Yeah.
And he's obviously got a majority of his memory back, so, I mean... Yes. So that is way, 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 way behind him.
Yes, way behind him. He's definitely changed. He's not the killer beast anymore with no memories, so... he's obviously remembered Catherine in more ways than one. And so that rooftop scene, it was just so beautiful, so sad, so everything. And that's when Vincent, he just opens up and says that he realizes that gym is just, it's just a Band-Aid. Yeah. He's not going to be all right in that prison like he said he was. Yeah. And that's something that Vincent and Catherine both have in common. Whenever something's not all right, they both say they are all right. Yeah.
Which makes them perfect for each other, except they just need to talk to each other.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes they have trouble admitting things that they don't want each other to know or whatever, or they're still, because I think that they're at that point where they're still kind of insecure in their newfound relationship.
Yeah.
Because they're still, in a way, they're kind of still figuring out who they are.
Yeah.
And with this whole speed bump of Vincent getting arrested, that definitely makes that emotional roller coaster go woo woo woo.
She was making hand gestures and circles because that's what those noises were signifying anyway.
Yeah. And so with the whole the rooftop scene, then it kind of fades, and is that them going into her apartment because they have agreed to share at least one night together if it be their last, which Catherine has faith and believes it will not be. And Vincent's just like, we don't know that.
Vincent's thinking on the Shakespeare side of things, where Kat's thinking on the
like a technically to the way.
Yeah.
And well, you know, Catherine's like his beacon of light and everything. Yeah. And so they go through her apartment, and Vincent's like, I didn't realize you had this many windows. And then they kind of walk to her bedroom, and she's like, my bedroom has windows too. And so they backtrack, and they're just walking backwards, and they just look, the bathroom.
Could there be a more awkward space?
And then, of course, Catherine asks her famous line that she asked at one time, what if I have to pee? Which isn't a very important question.
It is a very important question.
But I'm just like, question. You know, there's a toilet right there. You can go pee in there. And, you know, it's not like Vincent hasn't seen you already. So why bother? I mean, why feel awkward? But then, you know, I guess, you know, sleeping together is one type of intimacy. And then, you know, watching someone go to the bathroom is another kind of intimacy.
That's a whole nother...
have not ventured to yet.
Yes.
And I just love how Vincent's just like, you know, I'll close my eyes or I'll turn around and I'll try to plug my ears so I can't hear you.
and then...
That was great.
Yeah.
And then the whole beautiful... playing the Charlene Sororia's "Wherever You Will Go." That they had played. That song was their dance song in Bridesmaid Up back in season 1, and that just brought a whole new level of feels.
It was just so sweet. Like, oh my gosh,
it was very nostalgic in my opinion, and it kind of reminded me of that one part in About Last Night where Catherine. She's kind of in dream mode, and she's remembering all of the best memories with Vincent. Yeah. Oh, and then she wakes up, she's in his arms, she's like, what the heck? You know, it just, that whole dancing scene, the dancing shower scene to Wherever You Will Go is very nostalgic. It reminds you of season 1.
And it's very romantic. I'm not a person who's very into, like, the little romantic scenes like that. Like, I like them and I get excited for them, but I really liked this scene because it was really nice. It was really sweet, and it's like, you know, I want you go away from watching that and you're like, I want my boyfriend or a guy. if you don't have a boyfriend, then you're like, oh, then I'd like a guy that I like to dance with me in my shower, playing a song that we first danced to, because how romantic is that? It's gorgeous. It's like standing outside in the rain with the person you love, and and dancing with them there. I thought it was a really sweet scene.
It kind of it showed their relationship at a whole new level, in my opinion. Yeah. It was, I mean, they had clothes on, which, I don't know why, but it just made it even more, like, more of a sexy scene in a way. And, I mean, it just showed how even in the most dark types of situations,
there's always that sort of light.
There's always where they can take a step back, have a moment with each other, and just be with each other. Yes. I mean, it just shows you how they don't just focus on the bad stuff that's all around them.
Yeah.
That they're which I think in season 1, that's what they did mostly, was whenever that something bad happened, and, you know, Vincent was at that point where he felt like everything was his fault. He felt like, if I don't know, with, I can't think of a certain situation, maybe with Catherine's car wreck.
Yeah.
And she got shot. He felt like that was his fault, because if he had not left her at that dance, or at that wedding, she would have never been in that situation, because he would have been there to protect her. And so, and you know, and then he felt like at that point he should probably keep his distance. And then I think that with the whole Alex situation, that kind of...
It tensed things up, but I think it made their Vincent and Catherine's relationship even sweeter after it was finished. Because, you know, he realized, I really do need her. She really does need me. We really are made for each other.
To hide behind it. And with, you know, Vincent, he blamed himself for so many things, and there were so many times where he just felt like, you know, if I left, things would be better for Catherine. But now you have Vincent. I mean, definitely a whole new Vincent. You see, with Catherine during all of this. Yes, he wants to leave, but he's not bolting right away.
Yeah.
Like, in the past, he would have just left and gone. He's actually there. And he wants to be with her as long as possible, and I really like that, where he's actually using his brain for once.
Yeah.
He's considering Catherine's feelings. He's, instead of just leaving and all will be well. And then after that beautiful shower scene, it's interrupted by Gabe.
Gabe.
Of course.
Always.
And I think that was there purposely, so we could just hate him even more. But you know, Gabe had some good news in a way, because Gabe was like, I think I found this person that put the heart in Vincent's fridge. And so Catherine's like, oh, we gotta go check it out. And she calls for Vincent, and then Gabe's just like, wait, he's here? and so that was kind of a shocker. And I think it was even better shocker was when he saw Vincent walking out with wet hair. And then, you know the gears in his mind is clicking. He knows. He knows. I'm thinking he assumes the best. Not the worst, because it's the best in the relationship. But, you know, he assumes that it was more than just, you know, a shower dance, per se. And so I think seeing that right there kind of fueled his jealousy. And then, you know, they find the guy that's dead while Vincent's hiding. And then they go to Reynolds and tell Reynolds what's going on. And Reynolds is like, whoa, I did not take the credit for this. And so, and then Reynolds just like, you gotta stay away. This is why you need to stay away from Vincent, is because if they find Vincent, they're gonna find you too. Yeah. And so that's why another thing I think that Reynolds is just being a weird protective father.
Overprotective.
When Catherine leaves, because she's just like, whatever, talk to the hand. Catherine leaves, and then Gabe's just about to leave, but then, you know, Reynolds says, there's nothing more I can do in here, but you can do stuff out, or you can protect her more. And he's just like, I've been trying. He's like, well, you need to try harder. And when he says that, I feel like he's been coercing Gabe into doing stuff all this time. I mean, I just feel like they've been in league with each other for a while. Yeah. And maybe it was just little stuff here and there at first. And, you know, the more Catherine started leaning towards Vincent, the more Gabe started going towards Reynolds, and be like, okay, what do we do? Yeah. And for all we know, maybe Reynolds did know about Vincent's arrest, and just, you know, he's a good liar. He knows how to lie with a polygraph. So, I mean, who's to say he didn't know about this, and he's just pretending he doesn't? And he's trying to maybe he's using that situation to try to be in Catherine's good graces again by trying to help. And, you know,
when really he's doing more damage than actually helping.
The whole thing just spirals out of control. And then, so Gabe's just like, you know what, for once, I think you're right. So, I mean, it's possible that Reynolds has been telling him to do stuff, and Gabe didn't exactly agree with it.
That's quite possible.
Know? And so he's just like, you know what, for once, that's the first thing I liked hearing out of your mouth in a while. And so, you know, and definitely when I'm sure Gabe was the one who notified the police that Vincent was at Catherine's, because, you know, it was almost 5 minutes later after Catherine gets home. If they knew that Vincent was there, they would have gotten him already, or tried to.
Yeah.
So, definitely that. And with the whole Vincent, before the chopper, you hear the chopper's happening, Catherine's just like, I'm going with you. It's like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, fine. Do you even want me to go? And then whole beautiful line, he's just like, yes, of course, I want you everywhere. And he's just like, don't you see, you are my gem.
Yeah.
I was just like, that is such a beautiful line. And
that was cute.
It was also kind of cheesy.
It was cheesy, but it was a cute cheesy.
Jay Ryan makes it work.
It was like some of the lines in Smallville, like from like Lois to, or from Clark to Lois, or some of
vice versa.
Yeah, or vice versa, or some in Arrow, some of the quotes between Oliver and Laurel, like it's like
it's just like,
or Oliver and Felicity, if you ship that sort of thing.
It just, I mean, it's such a beautiful line. In the first time, I'm thinking right now, Vincent realizes just how much he needs Catherine in his life, and he, for the first time, he accepts that she wants to go with him. He's not going to say no, you know, and he accepts that they're equals.
Yeah.
That he's not, you know, in charge, and he's not going to protect her. And that's the whole thing. She hates it when men protect her. Yeah. Because she's very independent. She's very Catherine.
I don't know what I was going to say. Never mind. Continue.
And so, with the whole "you are my gem," that, you know, that's enough to melt any fan's heart.
Yeah.
And I just feel like for the first time, Vincent feels deserving of Catherine. Yeah. He's not. Because in the past, I mean, yes, he loves Catherine, but there was always something holding him back, that he felt like he was not worthy. He didn't deserve her. Yeah. And at this moment, I feel like he does deserve her. And with the whole scene in about last night, when he had the rose and he told her he loved her, he fought for her this time. Yes. He didn't just because. And with the whole fighting for her, he realized that he does deserve her. He's not a lowlife. Yeah. And just because he's a beast, it doesn't mean he has to live in a basement or live away from everybody and, you know, be like, I'm trying to think of a nerdy reference. I can't think. Yeah. To be like Batman in the shadows or something. Or, so... But yeah. That was just a beautiful ending, or not a beautiful ending, but a beautiful thin cat, everything. and then you hear the choppers, and you're just like, oh no, what's gonna happen? And then Catherine's like, you have to go without me. And Vincent's like, no, we can go, let's go. And then she's like, no, I'm gonna slow you down. And so Vincent handcuffs Catherine to the chair. And she's like, you know, this is the third time you've done this to me. He's like, oh, actually, it's kind of 4. And so that could allude to some kinky stuff that we don't know about or don't see behind the camera. But you know, that beautiful sweet kiss, or 2 kisses they had before he bolts and leaves. And I just, with Catherine, I'm glad that she realizes that she realizes she's an equal to Vincent and not just a girlfriend that needs protection. And in that giving up Vincent and telling him to run, that really showed that we'll find each other again, pretty much. Yeah. She trusts Vincent and wholeheartedly. And then Babe. Watching the program on the TV, and he has that grin. He's happy, evilly happy, and just like, what is going on? And so obviously that Grin is going to allude to
he's up to
a
something.
major part in this next episode. And then that ending.
Oh my god.
Catherine.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
My jaw was still dropped like an hour later. After the episode, I was like...
I didn't think I was going to survive the week.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on? No. And I mean, Kristen Crook, dang, she could put up a fight.
Yeah.
I mean...
Oh my gosh.
Like, squirming like that and biting the guy's hand. Oh my gosh. I mean...
That was some really good, that was
reflexes.
good acting there.
Yeah. And,
so...
I mean, you didn't even see it coming.
No, that was very well written. Like, that scene, like, because... Like you said, didn't see it coming. Like, it's all of a sudden she's being grabbed in the dark by these like weird ninja people. I don't know. I'm gonna call them ninjas. They're probably not ninjas, but you know who else hides in the shadows?
Too, and even then, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if these are like beasts grabbing her.
Ooh, what? Okay, so we definitely have theory time. Theory time. So we definitely know that this secret agency that is
Bad Wolf Agency.
has
That's my name for it.
has something to do with this. So what if they've been generating beasts this entire time, and beasts have been like they have like natural born beasts. They've been keeping this species alive.
Well, that's possible.
So, and what if that...
Or they can clone beasts.
And so what if, in a sense, like, I'm going to go real comic book nerdy here. What if this big bad wolf agency is sort of like Ra's al Ghul. And from, like, the Batman Arrow universe. I think mostly Batman universe. But, what if they're like that? And these beasts are the people that trained under these people or whatever. What if these ninja people are these beasts, and they're like the League of Shadows?
That's a little far-fetched.
It's a little far-fetched, but you never know. It could happen. The comic book person in me really wants it to be, but
I mean, but those kidnappers could very well be beasts.
Yeah.
Or I definitely think they're in league with the big bad wolf agency.
Yeah.
If they're not beasts, they're very well trained in combat and they're very strong. Whatever is going on.
Ex-military, maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
It could be military or government. I mean, CIA. It could be anything.
They're the NSA.
And so, they could be anything, or they could just be really good at what they do. Plus, they caught her off guard. She obviously, I think, whoever it was maybe in charge of this kidnapping, if not Gabe, someone had been watching her and probably knew that the fire escape was one of Vincent and Catherine's places.
Yeah.
And, you hear that sound, and you think, oh, what if it's Vincent jumping up there?
Yeah.
And she goes to look, and that catches her off guard, obviously.
She's like, oh, Vincent, and then, bam, it's these freaky ninja people. I'm just going to call them ninjas for now, because we don't know yet who they are, what they are, so I'm going to call them ninjas.
But yeah, I mean, but she made sure she at least got a piece of DNA by biting them, because she's a cop. She
draws blood. The blood gets on the ground.
Well, yeah, and when she's because she doesn't know at this point if she's ever going to be found, but obviously she has faith in Vincent. Vincent's going to find out, and they're going to find her. And she's probably going to want to know who kidnapped her. And being a cop, she knows the procedure, what the cops look for when trying to figure out who the assailants were. And so she's trying to get some DNA and everything. So
possibly, or she could have just bit them because they're trying to cover her mouth, and so that's the last, and prevent her from screaming. So what better way to defend yourself? You bite them.
Yeah.
To fend them off, to distract them. That way you can, if they're guys, kick them in the balls and then run.
I mean, it's possible as they grabbed her, they could have given her like a slow trank or something.
I don't think they did.
No?
No.
Maybe later on their trying to take her.
Well, she would have shown it. If they would have tranked her, she would have been out within seconds.
Yeah.
So they definitely didn't trank her.
So what I really liked throughout the whole entire episode were the music choices. Mm-hmm. I mean, Hightower Music, who's basically in charge of all of the music selections for Beauty and the Beast for each episode. They did a really good job in selecting which songs to play when. My favorite was obviously Charlene Soroya's Wherever You Will Go, and they don't have a song or find a song to perfectly match what the scene is, or they actually compose their own kind of
got a composer,
short song, instrumental song, and they have a lot of those on their SoundCloud, which are beautiful. And they have actual theme songs for the characters, so that they replay, like with Vincent and Catherine, when they're having a beautiful moment, and if there's not a song that they decide to choose that's written by an artist, they go and they normally play that default Vincent and Catherine theme song.
Yeah, as most shows do that. They've got a composer, and the composer picks, a song for a certain moment, and then, they'll compose themes or, that sort of thing for the various characters.
And what I really liked was when the last song was playing, as Catherine was looking up to the sky or whatever, trying to find that beautiful thing where Vincent was just looking out towards the city.
When he turned back, that was a good scene. Beautiful. It was a bit cliche because you see that whenever in like any show or any movie, whenever somebody's walking away or running away, you have that dramatic turn back. But it's still they did it very well.
Yes, and what I saw was, I didn't see okay, this is the last time I'm going to be here for a while. I saw him. I saw it as, okay, maybe I need to go back. There's no way I can leave Catherine behind. And that's what I saw it as. And so I think at that moment he decides to go back.
Yeah.
And anyway, with the music, what I really liked was right when the ninjas grabbed her, that music just went, it just almost faded off.
And went into all this, dramatic... ninjas grabbing somebody in the dark music.
Yeah, because every show has that.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So, good discussion. So what do you think's gonna happen in 218?
Well, obviously, Vincent's going to find out that Catherine's been abducted by aliens. No, I mean by aliens.
By aliens?
Been abducted, and
she's been abducted by aliens. Ninjas?
Alien beasts.
Alien beast ninja things.
What if those beasts were aliens in one time? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, theories going on. But anyway, what I think definitely Vincent's going to find out, and I think, honestly, I don't know if whoever nabbed Catherine is out to kill her. I think they could, some FBI agencies or CIA agencies, sometimes they have to use weird tactics to get people, maybe to lure other people out or what. But maybe they're looking for Vincent and they want to recruit him for something.
Okay, I think they're after Vincent because, he's a beast. So, and I think they see him as a threat. And they either want to use him, and control him because they do see him as a threat, so they're gonna want to put him in his place, so to say. Yeah. Or they're gonna want to dispose of him. They're gonna want to kill him.
You see, I actually disagree. I mean, we won't know obviously until we see the episode. Yeah. And these are just theories, but I think maybe this group, whoever the ninjas are who kidnap Catherine. Obviously, they didn't want to kill her right away, and maybe they were ordered not to kill her, just to nab her. And so I think maybe it's either I don't know if it's FBI or CIA,
I doubt it's
NSA
FBI
or whatever. But
I doubt it's FBI.
Some agency. I think they have seen Vincent. Maybe they've been keeping an eye on him, and who knows? Maybe they've been cleaning out after his tracks, or maybe they make his charges go away later. I don't know, but from what I've read in the synopsis, they're going to find an FBI ally, and I believe it's not someone we've met before. So it's probably someone who either knows of Vincent's ordeal, studied up on it, or maybe knew Vincent from his days in Murfield and decided to maybe there's a chance for these beasts, to do some good in the world.
What if it's a connection to Reynolds? What if Reynolds sets them up with this connection saying, all right, this guy can help you?
It's possible he might be a contact of Reynolds.
Or what if he's a back door for Reynolds? He's going to come to them like, I know Reynolds is in prison, but I'm going to help you guys because it's a part of this contingency plan.
Yeah. Or maybe this group is luring or trying to get to Gabe, and the best way to get to Gabe is to get to Catherine, and then have Vincent save Catherine, and then, Gabe will automatically, with his task force,
and then
go towards Vincent.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just trying to recruit Vincent, and the best way to get to Catherine. So I don't think they're actually out to kill Catherine.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they will, but
I don't think they will, and maybe they might want some answers, but I don't think they're going to torture her for it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just all a big misunderstanding, and the best tactic to get her was to kidnap her, because obviously Catherine's kind of her. She's not going to trust anybody who just walks up to her. And so they're probably going to kidnap her, and that will lure Vincent and everything, and when a person gets kidnapped, their first reaction's they're gonna freak out and try to fight back. The kidnapper's just like, oh, hi, we're here to kidnap you, but be nice. It's not gonna work like that. They're probably paid to kidnap her. Maybe make it look official, make it look like a kidnapping or something. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, there's a million things that could be behind this. It could be bad, it could be good.
And we'll hopefully find out tonight.
Yeah, and I'm guessing Gabe, we're going to find out more about Gabe and his evil plan, and he's definitely not going to give up. Definitely not. Not after all of this leading up to him being kind of the bad guy at the moment. There's definitely more in store for him. And, I mean, part of me is just like, if he gets killed, I won't cry. I won't be sad. But if he happens to be in the next season, whether he's stirring up some trouble or in league with the bigger enemy, then I wouldn't mind. I mean, he's a good bad guy.
He is. He's a very good bad guy.
Yeah. So, but I think that kind of wraps everything up.
Yeah, that wraps up this episode.
We kind of did a integrating of
the discussion
and the review. So
yeah, awesome. So
if you actually like this discussion / review / nerd everything galore, then let us know on our Facebook page, and
it's called Something Bigger, a Nerdcast. The podcast.
Yeah, and we'll definitely do more of these.
Nerdcast podcast.
And if you are bored after, or any time really, if you are really bored, really bored, or just want something to read, you should check out our fan fiction we are working on. It is called Something Bigger, which the Nerdcast was actually based off of the title.
Yeah.
But Something Bigger is basically, why don't you tell about it?
Something Bigger is a crossover fanfiction. It's a mega crossover fanfiction on fanfiction.net. And it's mainly between Beauty and the Beast and Supernatural. And it's it basically it starts out. We see these there's this hybrid thing, cross between a vampire and a werewolf, and it shows up and it attacks Vincent, and Sam and Dean come in and save the day, and turns out that something or someone, could be Muirfield, is behind it all, and it's got Klaus from Vampire Diaries and the originals. He's in there.
Especially Rebecca and Elijah.
Yeah, and he's up to something. Could it be with? Could he be in league with Muirfield, or could he just be wanting to find out where this hybrid came from? Because it certainly
not in league with anybody.
he certainly believes it wasn't him that set this hybrid out there. So it's got Arrow, Vampire Diaries and the originals, Supernatural, Beauty and the Beast, soon to be Smallville sometime.
Later.
Yeah.
That's going to be very fun to see with Catherine and, Clark being like, Lana?
Since Kristen Crook played Lana.
You've already had that with JT. It's Bruce
from Ghost Facers.
Yeah, and so it's a great story to read. We're in our 10th chapter. 10 chapters have been posted. We're definitely not. I don't think we're even near finished.
No, we still have a long way to go. So
so we'll be uploading every so often, whenever we can. And you can actually find the link on the our Facebook page, because I posted it there. And so I think that's it.
But yeah, if you want to, you can find me on Tumblr, Badger in the TARDIS 11. You can find Kimberly on all sorts of
website. Everything.
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Wix. I have a website, but it's not under Writer Freak 001. But if you look up Writer Freak 001, you're sure to find it. You type in Writer Freak 001, type in Wix right next to it, and you'll probably find it.
So yeah, and then like Kimberly said, you can find us on our Facebook page. We hope to get a website
up and running.
And running soon. Maybe a Twitter. So yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Enjoy the episode tonight if you haven't seen it, or if you can't see it tonight, be sure to watch it online.
And if you want, you can, if you want to maybe review this episode of the podcast, or if you want to talk about the episode, the Beauty and the Beast episode tonight, you can certainly go on our Facebook page and
just tell us what you like about it. Maybe we'll read your little write-up during our next podcast.
Yep. All right. Awesome. Great. This is Emily checking out.
And this is Kimberly saying bye-bye.
Adios. Bye.